Oneshell Media International proudly presents.
Five world leaders who leaned on astrology for guidance.
Number 5. Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, was known to consult astrologers for important decisions. She did so both openly and secretly and became infamous in her time for her perceived reliance on them. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, earlier in her life, Gandhi had previously rejected belief in horoscopes and gods. But she became more focused on astrology after astrologers correctly predicted the death of her son in 1980. From there, she was a full-on believer, and astrologers' advice had a major impact on her life. Number 4. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I was known to seek the advice of astrologer John Dee on all of her decisions. Most infamously, one consultation came during a time when she was at risk of being executed by her sister Queen Mary I. When Dee examined Elizabeth's birth chart, he predicted that it was actually Mary who would die suddenly. Elizabeth, he claimed, would ascend to the throne and rule instead. That's exactly what happened, and Elizabeth never forgot the foretelling. Dee's accuracy in this reading cemented his position as Elizabeth's primary advisor for the rest of her reign. But for the general public, that was to be expected. During this period of the late 16th century, astrology was commonly used as a tool in politics and medicine. At the time, it was known as the science of iatromathematics. Number 3. Cleopatra. Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, was known to consult astrologers to keep her informed of international events. Many of those questions she had for her astrology court centered on the goings-on in Rome. But the context of Cleopatra's life and times makes some sense about astrology's appearance in her political habits. Cleopatra lived during the era of Ptolemy. He was a mathematician and astronomer who made significant contributions to the understanding of planetary configurations. His work also informed the distinction between then-popular Egyptian zodiac signs. Ptolemy cultural influence at the time was significant, so it's only natural to recognize how that would have affected Cleopatra in her role as a leader. After rising to take command of Egypt, Cleopatra even commissioned the painting of a mural of the zodiac on the ceiling of the Dendera temple. In ancient Egyptian astrology, the goddess Isis was associated with the throne, and Cleopatra identified with this deity. Isis is known as a strong and confident female leader who can balance a sense of fun with the role of protector. Number 2. Ronald and Nancy Reagan. During their time in the White House, both President Ronald Reagan and First Lady Nancy Reagan were interested in astrology. While Ronald Reagan claimed that astrology did not influence any of his policy decisions, he did consult with celebrity astrologer Carol Reiter while he was governor of California. Plus, he was known to have planned events according to planetary configurations. So naturally, the media followed the story as the couple ascended to the White House and began making decisions that affected the entire country. Nancy Reagan was more open about her use of astrology throughout her life as a public figure. In fact, she reportedly received a warning from an astrologer that something ominous was going to occur to her husband one day in 1981. When he was nearly felled by an assassin's bullet in a failed attempt on that day, Nancy's astrologer appeared to have been proven correct. In the wake of the incident, the First Lady completely took charge of her husband's schedule and worried about how it related to the stars. Number 1. Adolf Hitler's underlings. Adolf Hitler was not very interested in astrology, but some of his colleagues were steadfast believers in reading the stars. That list included Joseph Goebbels, Marshal Heinrich Himmler, and Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess, who were all known to use astrology to make political decisions. Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, employed a team of astrologers to spread the message of the Third Reich during the war. This approach was effective in Germany, where many people already believed in astrology. However, in order to maintain control over the narrative, the Nazi regime prohibited citizens from interpreting astrology or making their own astrological predictions. It could only be done by party leaders and then spread in an effort to further their war effort. In one infamous instance, Himmler relied on a team of astrologers to locate Benito Mussolini when he went missing during World War II. After Mussolini was found, Himmler attributed the success to the astrologers rather than the individuals who decrypted radio codes to locate him. Rudolf Hess, Himmler's deputy, took things even further.
Please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.